Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Glenn Kellaway, unavailable this week. So on Top 10 Tuesday, Sam decided to get together here. Sam and I decided to get together and do a quick video. We're going to do the Beatles best opening tracks, rank the opening tracks, all 13 of them from the UK albums. Uh, Go back and forth and just banter about the songs. It won't be anything in depth, just something to put out there on a Tuesday. Hope you enjoy. Sam will go first, and we'll go back and forth until we reach top 13 songs instead of the usual 10, just subject matter. So, Sam, we haven't done Beatles in a while. I mean, we went through a whole series of every album and a couple of special little things with past masters and so forth. So, it's been a long time, maybe 2 years, something like that, year and a half,
Probably.
2 years.
Yeah, close to it.
So, but this is good to get back in, just some fodder for the audience here. I enjoyed talking Beatles once in a while, and opening track seems like a logical place to go. I don't think we've ever done it, so let's just jump in and see how it goes.
All right. Yeah, and I'm hot off of seeing McCartney in Columbus.
And you're hot off of McCartney, a little impetus there.
Yeah.
Let's do it. 13.
Right.
What do you got for me?
Yeah, this is I kind of took it. I mean, part of it is favorites, but the other part of it is what really kicks off an album well.
Yeah,
it's kind of
right.
a mix of both of those factors when I was picking these 13. But
Yep.
For me, number 13, to me, it's just the logical bottom. It's Yellow Submarine. Yellow Submarine is a lot of people's least favorite Beatles album just because it's not a fully realized album. It's a soundtrack. It's only got three new songs and then some songs that were already released prior to the cartoon
Right.
film, and then B-side is just orchestral George Martin stuff. So it's great for the movie, but we'd already gotten Yellow Submarine on Revolver, so it's 13 for me.
Yeah, it's a great logical pick. I cut it a break this time and didn't put it last. But anyway, my number 13 is from With the Beatles, and it won't be long. I don't know. I just don't. I think that on this album, I would have started the album with All My Love, and I think that would have been a little jump start to bring everybody in. But it won't be long. It's never been a favorite of mine, so that's why it's at the in the cellar, so to speak.
All right, number 12 for me, again, often voted another one of the Beatles, missteps, but actually, as an album, it's one of my favorites. But I'm going to go with No Reply from Beatles for Sale. Kind of a mid-tempo opener. Kind of starts off, a cappella without any kind of instrumentation with John, this happened once before, and then it jumps into it.
Right.
There is a couple of parts where they kind of use like the rock voices where, him and Paul are harmonizing, I nearly died, like that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think it would have been great to start this album with 8 Days a Week, or honestly, something like Babies in Black, or anything like that. But yeah, No Reply for me. It's going to come in at number 12.
Yep, that's a fantastic pick because it's also my number 12. No Reply, and I agree with you. 8 Days a Week is the way I would have started this album, with that little build up. Dun, 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 dun,
yeah, fade in.
Ooh, I need. Yeah, it would have been perfect. But
yeah.
They didn't choose to go that way. So I'm going to give No Reply at number 12. So we own one already.
Great. Number 11 for me. For a while, I liked the song pretty well, but over time, it just kind of was just an indifferent song. Although Paul, when I saw him on Saturday, he played the song, but it's from Revolver, which I know is from Rubber Soul, which I know is your favorite album.
Yeah.
Drive My Car is going to be number 11 for me. Again, great rockin' tune. It's great to hear the Beatles kind of really bring in like some a little bit heavier guitars into their music, and this is just 1965. But maybe just because I've heard the song a lot, it's lower. I can't think of any songs from Rubber Soul that would have kicked it off better per se with those particular song choices, because that's kind of a more mellow album. Maybe something like, If I Needed Someone could have been an opener, like a George opener. But I mean, he would get his due the next year on Revolver. But for me, number 11 is Drive My Car from Rubber Soul.
Yeah, like you said, it's my favorite Beatles album, so I'm going to have that one higher. But another option would have been like Nowhere Man. I think they could have put that up top, but it,
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a great pick. Number 12, you talked about it earlier. It's Yellow Submarine for me, or number 11, excuse me. Number 11 is Yellow Submarine. It's the only Ringo vocal opener that they have among them, but I enjoy it. I know it's kind of kid friendly and, la, 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 but you got to put something near the bottom, and that's going to be it this time around. Yellow Submarine at number 11, just squeezed out of the top 10. The top 10 is the top 10 for a reason. So there you go.
Yeah. Number 10, I'm going to do the follow-up to Revolver. I keep saying Revolver. To Rubber Soul, I'm going to go with Taxman from Revolver, which is the one George opener from their career. Which, interesting, has a Paul McCartney guitar solo, even though it's a George Harrison song. Again, kind of more like trippier rock. It's got a little bit of a political stance to it, which was not what the Beatles were doing. So that was all new for them as well, to do that kind of an angle on it. But I mean, I think it's a great tune. But in terms of openers, again, I could have, for that album, maybe This Bird Has Flown or something like that. Or excuse me, Your Bird Has Wings. That would have been a good song to open this album for me, like to kickstart the album. But yeah, Taxman for me is number 10.
All right, this might hurt a little bit. Two of Us. I know it's one of your favorites, but I put it at 10. I enjoy it. I'm not going to lie about it, but I don't know. I don't know if there was a better option on here. Maybe Get Back.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I like Two of Us. I like the vocal. It's kind of late, but I don't know. It's not one of my favorites. So, and it's tough to do. It's the Beatles. I mean, you're competing against the best of the best. So that's the impossibility of what we're doing. Everybody's going to have a different opinion. So there you go.
Yeah. I do have a little bit higher, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Number 9 for me, I'm going to go with Back in the USSR, which, has like the whole, Beach Boys kind of feel to it. They wrote it while they were in India. It opens up the massive White Album with all the music on those two records. And yeah, it's kind of like that fade in with like the airplane, taking off or, coming back in. It's kind of again that fade in with the drums and Paul's going, oh, flew in from. It's just, it's a great tune. It's a great opener, and who could predict where that album was going to go? Because right after that, you have Dear Prudence, and you're like, what? That was a big jolt,
Yeah.
But a great opener. I'll probably, I don't think there was another song on that album that could have been a better opener. I mean, I think it works for the White Album. So, I've got a bunch that are a little bit higher. So number 9 is Back in the USSR.
Yeah. My number, what are we at? 9, 8?
9.
9. Taxman, you mentioned it, one back. Yeah, everything you said was true. I mean, I love the trippiness of it. It would be hard to go. I don't see anything on here. Maybe Got to Get You Into My Life, but that's more poppy than it is trippy, like some of these other songs. So I don't know what you would go with on an opener here. I like Eleanor Rigby as a second track. I'm Only Sleeping as a third track. Those flow beautifully, but I don't hate Taxman. I like it. It fits the album well, so that's why it's number 9. Like I said before, this is the Beatles here, and there's a lot of competition, and the cream rises to the top, as they say.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna go back to an early Beatles record. For me, number 8 is gonna be Hard Day's Night. Again, it's kind of a given that the soundtracks were gonna have the first song be the title of the movie or whatever it is, with the exception of Let It Be, which wasn't really a fictional movie, but like Magical Mystery Tour, Yellow Submarine, Help, Hard Day's Night. All those albums start with the title track.
Right.
But it's a great tune. It's got that opening, that beautiful chord that they open with. But yeah, I mean, early Beatles, I've got to be in a mood for it. And I mean, it's upbeat. It's the definition of where Beatlemania was going. Just a great harmony with John and Paul. High harmonies by Paul. It's a great tune, but yeah, I know what I like with my Beatles, and that's where the list will continue. So number 8, Hard Day's Night.
All right. My number 8 is back in the USSR. You mentioned it, that Beach Boys sound. It is probably the right pick for an opener on this album. I can't think of anything else I'd take. So they made the right choice. It's just the White Album, again, is middling Beatles for me. As great as it is, it's not near the top. It's probably 6, 7 on my Beatles album ranking list. And it turns out that that's my 8th favorite opener.
It fits.
Yep.
All right, number 7, I just mentioned it. I'm going to go with Help, which was the second of the Beatles movies. This was from 1965. Everybody knows it. It's on all the Beatles' greatest hits. It was the number 1 hit. When I saw Paul, that's what he was opening with, which is cool. And he's opening with the John song, so it was a great opener for the show. But yeah, again, it's tough when you get to these songs, and so many of these songs were number 1 hits, and so it's like we're ranking the best of the best, because for the Beatles, a lot of times this was probably the best song on the record, and they're going to put that at the top, and we've got to run through the 13, and it's tough. But yeah, everybody knows Help. It's just those great kind of like hopeless John Lennon lyrics put up to like a poppy beat, and it's perfect song, but it's number 7 for me.
I understand. Number 7 for me, one of those title tracks. I think there's 5 title track songs here as openers out of the 13. And this was my least favorite, and that's Magical Mystery Tour, which is still fantastic. It's of that era. You think 1967 when you hear it, Summer of Love, all that good stuff. And, it's my least favorite of the title track, so I sort of put it in that spot. The other ones that you mentioned already, I have a little bit higher. I think it's because of the age difference. They were, part of my childhood, Help and Hard Day's Night. So they rose a little bit for me in the meaning. That's all. Ed Sullivan, all that kind of stuff. Bubblegum Cards, Help, Hard Day's Night, all that stuff. So there we go. Top 6. What do we got?
All right, number 6. You had it way down there, and I'm going to go with It Won't Be Long. With the Beatles, I love that song. I think it's just, it was perfect. Again, All My Lovin's great, but I also like that they put it down a little bit further into the album, which they did for a lot of these songs. I mean, you take a song like Yesterday by, on Help. I think that's like what, second to last on the album before Dizzy Miss Lizzy. It's deep down in there. But I love it. I love the call and response with Paul. And there's one point it almost sounds like Paul's kind of laughing because his voice keeps going up. He's like, yeah, and like you can kind of hear him laugh because they've probably done the take 3 or 4 times by that point.
Right.
I think it's great. I think it's energetic. So It Won't Be Long. It's a great opener for me.
Very cool. Number 6, favorite Beatles album, Rubber Soul for me, and it is Drive My Car. You mentioned it earlier. Just to prove I'm not a Rubber Soul fanatic, I didn't put it at number 1. And it's really not a number 1 opener for them. It's in the middle there, upper middle at number 6. And I would have probably gone with Nowhere Man as my, if I was, putting these together back in the day. But still, I enjoyed the beep beeps and all that good stuff. So
yeah,
there it is.
All right, top 5. Again, this is one that you had earlier. I think it's great. It's one of the last great Paul and John collaborations. Two of Us from Let It Be.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that album really does have quite a few John and Paul moments. Like it's got One After 909, I've Got a Feeling,
Yep.
all those songs that are reminiscent of their early years, and it's neat, especially after seeing the Get Back movie from a couple of years ago, to see like how they were still friends even in early 1969. But it's got that great guitar part, and then at the end, the whistle, and it's just it's just a friendly way to open the album, and it's kind of like a reminder that the Beatles, you know, were a partnership, and this is a perfect example of that. So number 5, Two of Us.
Very good. Number 5 for me is Come Together off of Abbey Road. You could argue this is 1, 2, 3. For some people, it has to be because they see the Beatles as the hip, cool, long-haired hippies at that time, and 1969, the end of the decade, the great cover with the outfits. So I just, and the lyrics are so bizarre. Everybody's trying to read into them what they mean. Toe jam football and all that kind of stuff. So it's a cool song. It's a great song, everlasting song. But it makes the top 5. So there you go.
Yeah, it's my number 4. And that's my favorite Beatles album. It's my second favorite album ever.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I know Glenn tells the story of, he found the mall and ran home and got the money from his dad and brought Abbey Road home. And he said, you put it on for the first time and you hear that, shoot me. And then like that bass, doo-doo-doo, and then Ringo hitting all over the kit. It's just like, it's such a moody piece. And, it's got those blues influences and like the whole Chuck Berry connection. And it's great. It's one of John's best. It might be top 5 for me of John Lennon Beatles songs. But yeah, I mean it's a 10 out of 10 song. But yeah. I guess in terms of, again, with openers, I'm going kind of with what sets the best tone for the album, and that's why my top 3 are what they are. So
yeah. Number 4, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the title track. It's a perfect opener, really. But this is my next in line of the title tracks. I just like those early Beatles songs a little bit better. Billy Shears and Gather All Around and Welcome In. It's got that carnival atmosphere. Fantastic song to welcome you into a classic album. So there it is. Number 4.
Number 3, you had a little bit earlier, Magical Mystery Tour. Again, sets it up perfect. It was the follow-up to Sgt. Pepper. You have that great, roll up for the Magical Mystery Tour. Step Right This Way. Again, kind of like a ringmaster in the circus, and it does work. I mean, not that Magical Mystery Tour was a concept album by any means or anything like that, because again, that was like the one U.S. Capitol related album that ended up becoming part of the the canon of the records. It was the only one that did it. And, you had the first half, which was the original songs for the TV movie. And then you had a bunch of singles on the B side, which were just full of, hits. And, personally as an album, I like this better than Pepper. I think you do too. We talked about that when we did our ranking a couple years ago.
Do. Yep.
But it's great. I know Paul opened his tour with it probably about 15 or so years ago, and that would have been a great opener for a concert. So Magical Mystery Tour, number 3.
3 for me is A Hard Day's Night. You had it down a little bit further, but I think it's vintage, early Beatles. It takes me back to 1964 when I was a little lad. And Ed Sullivan Show, one of the early memories that I have. I mean, it's hard to remember stuff before that as prominent, sticking out. Even the JFK assassination, which happened 2 or 3 months before. I don't remember as many details of that as I would watching these boys on Ed Sullivan back in the day. So high ranking, I know, but love it.
Number 2, I just talked about it, Sgt. Pepper's. Yeah, it's perfect. It's even better with the the merging into with the whole of my friends. But even as a standalone track, it's a great track. It's rocking. Almost as long as some of the early Beatles tunes. So it's not like it's like just a fragment of a song. But yeah, I mean, you start, kind of with the sound effects, and I can only imagine. I mean, you being, of that time to be able to remember this stuff coming out, where like you finish Revolver with Tomorrow Never Knows, and then you break into Sergeant Pepper, a year later, and you've got the the sound effects of like the orchestra tuning up, and then it breaks in with like that acid guitar. It rocks, and McCartney's vocals, that's some of his best singing. So Sergeant Pepper is number 2.
2 for me is Help, another title track, 65, Beatles. Just another one of those memories that you have for the boys with the movie and the bubblegum cards and like the lunch boxes, everything that came with that era of the Beatles, where they were the biggest thing on the face of the earth. Music was changing. They were at the forefront of it. So Help is going to be high on my list. And it's a great song one of John's all-time songs.
Yeah. Well, it looks like number 1. It's pretty cool. Please Please Me. I saw her standing there. The first track on the first Beatles record. They couldn't have picked anything better. That's one of those perfect opening and closing albums with Twist and Shout on the back end. You got the Count In by Paul. They're all so young and they're hungry, and obviously like that whole album was recorded in 15 hours or whatever it was, and it's just, they're so great. Ringo is killing it on the drums. The harmonies are great. They're doing the Beatles, the high, you can just see their heads bobbing. You can see them like in the skinny ties and the vests, and it's perfect. It's a perfect opener. It's the first Beatles song in their catalog, and nothing else could have done that to kickstart their career. Nothing. So I saw her standing there.
Yeah, you covered it extremely well. That's the reason it's number 1. That 1, 2, 3, 4 being the first album off the first song off the first album, iconic. What else is there to say? I mean, it is a perfect song. It's a perfect open to a career. Sums them up.
Yeah.
In what, a couple minutes. That's the Beatles. Whatever follows. But even if they had that one song and were a nothing band after, you'd always remember it. It's that good, and it's like iconic. So great job. We hit on one. Let's just see if we have. There we go. There's our list, just for those out there keeping score. Very
2
nice.
matches.
Ooh. We had 2 matches at 12 and 1.
Yeah,
and
top and the
couple
bottom.
Close calls. We had the Taxman and back in the USSR are in the same neighborhood, I'd say.
Come Together was close.
Come Together, close. And it's a matter of preference after that of some of these title tracks, which mean more to different people than others. And I think the biggest discrepancy we have might be It Won't Be Long, which I had last and you had 6th.
6, yeah.
That's
one. My car,
and maybe
11 and 6, so that was 5 off. Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
There we go. That was fun. I really enjoyed it.
It was good.
Folks out there watching, go over to Americana Sam. Check out his channel. Great material. Just saw Paul McCartney. I'll have a review of that. And give him a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And leave us your favorite Beatles openers in the comments below. We'd like to hear what your number 1 is, where we screwed up, all that good stuff. I don't think there's any argument that I saw her standing there. It's got to be near, if not at.
It's got to be near.
It's got to be near. If not, you're not paying attention. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
I don't want to alienate anyone, but that's a fact. Anyway, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Glenn will be back, and we'll have some new material. Take care, everybody. See you.